war. Take me to your river. I wanna know. Dip me in your smooth waters. I go in as a man with many crimes. Come up for air as my sins go in. As a man with many crimes, come up for air. As my sins flow down the Jordan, oh, I wanna come here and give.
These 2 points right here, I'm gonna connect the rope. Raise your hand if you've done that before. Our mission is to empower adolescent girls to develop and express their strength.
Nice, Gemma. Thanks. You're doing great, Gemma.
There's a lot of power and community that comes from climbing together. Blindfold climb, it takes that to the next level.
And I'm gonna need help with you guys telling me where things are. How far am I from the top?
Okay. So turn to your right a little bit. Good.
Students come away with a sense of what their truth is and who they are versus like who the world expects them to be.
Good job, Gemma!
The types of activities we do force me to kind of be true with myself. Throughout life, I just want to say yes. Even when the voice in the back of my head is like, no, like, don't do it. Then once you do it, it's just like,
What's the purpose of having a mask? Why would we have this outward expression be any different than our inward experience of ourselves? Could it be a survival skill for some people? Outdoor adventure was a real saving grace in my life. It helped me deal with a lot of anxiety that I had, and it helped me find some strength.
Okay, Mia, I see you.
Just let me down.
Are you sure?
Yes.
No one else made it.
while we all challenged ourselves, we were all there for one another, which created a very strong community that I haven't really found elsewhere in my life. Like for me, if I just feel alone, I want to push away other people rather than bringing them in. But once you bring them in, you know they're there. It's a really relieving feeling.
I learned that I'm stronger than I thought I was. And I've been less exhausted because I'm not trying to be someone else constantly.
The world sees girls differently, but it doesn't mean that you have to see yourself differently.
What community is for these girls is a chance to invent themselves with a group of strangers, a space where students can step in and try and deal with that fear in a way that's supported. If we just cling to what's comfortable all the time, we don't usually expand and grow and maybe reach our full potential as people.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the GirlVentures Get Active campaign main event. My name is Lingling Chen, and I'm a proud board member at GirlVentures, and I'm honored to be part of the fundraising initiative for this campaign.
And my name is Meley. I'm on the Youth Advisory Board, and this summer I'll be an assistant instructor on the GirlVentures course Redwood Adventure. We're both so happy to be your co-MCs for tonight's event.
Before we dive in, we want to pause today to acknowledge that those of us here living in the Bay Area, the location out of which GirlVentures operates, is on the land of the Ohlone and Muwekma Ohlone people who trace their ancestry through the missions. We remember their connection to this region and give thanks for the community, the opportunity to live, work, learn, and then pray on their traditional homeland. Let us take a moment of silence to pay respect to their elders and to all Ohlone people past and present. As you can tell, we are emceeing this event from our homes in the San Francisco Bay Area. I live in Alameda, but my background, as you can see here, is this beautiful Redwood National Forest. I became a mom at the end of 2019. So last year, it's really all about working from home while taking care of a newborn baby. I always try to go hiking every weekend, whether it's in the Muir Woods or Napa Valley State Park. I even did kayaking in Bodega Bay and Tamales Bay. I'm so grateful to be living in the Bay Area. How has it been for you, Meley?
Being quarantined at home for me has been definitely a challenging experience, but it's also been an adjustment. I've been doing classes at home and seeing friends at a distance, and I felt like my surroundings were definitely like out of my control. Although there's been so much change over this past year, I'm really happy to see that there are some things we still have control over and that have stuck around through quarantine, like the support of our GirlVentures community. Thank you all so much for being here with us, and we see and appreciate all of you. And I'm loving seeing all the GirlVentures gear.
Now we have an exciting event here tonight. We are all here to support GirlVentures. GirlVentures empowers girls to become the leaders of tomorrow. We inspire girls and gender nonconforming youth to lead through outdoor adventure, inner discovery, and collective action. Your donations directly support the scholarship fund, enabling girls and gender nonconforming youth from all communities to discover their strength and lead positive change. The goal of this campaign is to raise $40,000 for GirlVentures. We're about $10,000 away from hitting our goal. If you're able to donate, you can find the link in the chat box to help us reach our goal. You can also find the QR code on this slide. Do you think we can reach our goal during this broadcast? I really think we can. I also want to send a big thank you to all of our sponsors, Prologis, Arc'teryx, and our product sponsor, Equator Coffees. We are so grateful for all of your support. I'd love to invite Allison Hill, Managing Director of Prologis, to give us a quick welcome on behalf of Prologis. Allison has also been a longtime board member of GirlVentures.
Thanks, Lingling. I appreciate the introduction. Prologis is an owner of logistics properties around the globe and has a strong commitment to women's leadership development and community engagement. Prologis is happy to continue its longstanding sponsorship of GirlVentures, and we look forward to this evening's program. So thank you all for joining us.
Thank you, Allison, for your company's support. This year's theme is Share the Trail because everyone deserves to feel like they belong in the outdoors. This theme resonated with me personally, especially considering that I did not consider myself what one would call an outdoorsy person before DV. Looking back 3 years ago to when I first set foot in a climbing gym, I get to remember how much my relationship with nature has progressed, and it's thanks to GV. With this past year, I think it is so important for us all to feel a connection to the outdoors and share the trail because nature has so much to offer us. As a part of this campaign over the past 30 days, you've all joined us for in-person activities, from our GirlVentures staff-led hike to skateboarding, along with virtual activities including yoga with Moga Flow and a workout with Wealthy Workouts. We hope to bring the full hike for girls back next year.
And tonight we have exciting agenda for you all. We have Shelma Jun, filmmaker, community advocate, and managing director of Flash Foxy, here with us today to tell her story. And that's not all. We also have the incredibly talented Osunfemi Wanbi Njeri. She's a Sweetwater neo-soul hip-hop vocalist, songwriter, and author who has shared a musical performance just for us. So before we get started, I would love to hear how GirlVentures has personally impacted you, Meley. Can you share with us how has GirlVentures programs cultivated your leadership and resilience?
Yeah, so like I said before coming into GirlVentures, I definitely wasn't an outdoorsy person. And I think that being put in situations like my transitions course and GCO, our outdoor climbing days, and leadership workshops in YAB, all the programs that I've been a part of, I've always left with a sense of confidence and a sense of real like believing that I had the ability to do things that I really didn't think I was capable of before. I think that in terms of resilience, we spent a long time in the outdoors on transitions, and it was a challenge for me, but I got through it, and it definitely made going into high school seem a lot less intimidating. And in terms of leadership, I'd say that YAB, the workshops that we do and the exposure that we have to different career paths has definitely instilled a sense of leadership and capability in me.
Yeah, I can see a lot of fun events here in the slide. How has GirlVentures created a sense of belonging for you in both the community and in the outdoors?
I think that a sense of belonging within the community really comes from a love for the earth and nature in general, which really brings GirlVentures together. And I think that a love for the outdoors, like I said, in transitions, we were there for 2 weeks. So I kind of had to adjust whether I liked it or not. And I think that that was a really awesome experience for me. And it's created an awesome relationship for me with nature. I think especially during quarantine, I've been able to use nature as a real outlet. And I'm sure a lot of people from the GirlVentures community can relate to that.
That's incredible to hear. Thank you so much, Meley. Okay, I think it's time to introduce our first guest. Let's please all welcome filmmaker, community advocate, and managing director of Flash Foxy, Shelma Jun.
Hi, Meley. Hi, Lingling. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, Shelma, thank you so much for joining us today. So tell us a little bit about your story. How has that shaped your understanding of belonging in the outdoors?
Yeah, I wanted to first start off with a couple things before I answer that question.
Yeah.
I just wanted to first dedicate tonight to my father, Jun Namhyun. In Korean, you start with your family name, who passed away a few weeks ago. He was my first hiking partner, my first camp leader, and kind of the first person who introduced me to the outdoors. My love for sleeping under the stars and my near addiction to the sublime powers of nature come directly from him. Secondly, I just wanted to acknowledge that I'm speaking tonight from Payahunadu, which is the ancestral and current lands of the Numu and New tribes, or Paiute and Eastern Shoshone tribes, as they're known by the US government. Payahunadu, which means land of flowing waters in Numu, is the original name for the Owens River Valley in the Eastern Sierra, which is where I am today. And I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge that and thank the original stewards of this land who've been taking care of this space since time immemorial. But thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be the keynote speaker for this year's spring event. You know, tonight's theme, Share the Trail, a call to get active together and ensure that everyone feels like they belong in the outdoors, is one that really resonated with me personally. The idea of belonging and what makes us feel as though we belong is something that I've been contending with for my entire life. My relationship to and understanding to this word has really shifted a lot in the last 30 years. And that's the story I'd like to share with everybody for this question. I was born in Seoul in South Korea in 1983, the middle child of a family of 3. And my family immigrated to the United States, to Southern California specifically when I was almost 5 years old. And when we first moved here, my parents sold t-shirts and sweatshirts at the local swap meet before eventually opening up a dry cleaners, which they had for most of my childhood. And so without much money or time, because the dry cleaners was open 6 days a week, most of our vacations were spent camping and exploring national and state parks in and around California. This and the many nights spent camping in our backyard is kind of what initially sparked my love for the outdoors. Um, you know, what seems to be like a really classic immigrant story. My parents like uprooted their family and moved to a country that spoke an entirely different language in hopes to find better opportunities and resources for our family. And they defined success as being seen as an equal to any other American. And to them, American was defined as being a white American. And so what they saw as the most effective method to achieve this was assimilation. And so early on, I was told that to like belong was to blend, to adopt the existing culture, traditions, and norms as my own, and to leave behind at home any of my existing identity that didn't fit into what was defined as American. So at home, I was Korean and we lived in a Korean household, upheld Korean traditions and rules. But once outside the door, we were to assume our like American identities. And one prime example of this specifically in the outdoors was during, while I was growing up, I was in the Girl Scouts. And when I was in the Girl Scouts, I learned what it meant to be outdoors as an American. I went on camping trips where we roasted marshmallows and hot dogs. We sang the right songs, the right camp songs, and we wore the right hiking gear. And I was really good at assimilating and belonging in this kind of assimilating definition of belonging. I probably became pretty expert at it, like easily leaving parts of me at home as I discovered surfing and snowboarding and finally climbing. And I found that to fit into this type of belonging meant I had to leave a lot of different parts of me behind, namely being a woman of color. I got used to being one of just a couple women in these spaces, even taking pride in being like the only girl who wasn't too sensitive or too emotional to hang with the boys, and kind of having these misguided ideas of what that meant. And in these spaces, I didn't get to talk about my struggles of being a woman or an immigrant or a queer person in a predominantly heteronormative space. I kind of had to shelve those conversations and those experiences for communities in other parts of my life. And then through climbing, I discovered the power of climbing with other women, and discovered that through this collective power, we could begin to redefine how folks climb. That crying could be a normal response to high emotion, that support and success could look different than what was kind of seen traditionally as support and success in climbing. And it was only through this community of women that I met through Flash Foxy, a women's climbing organization that I founded in 2014, that I learned that there isn't only one right way, the mainstream way to belong in the outdoors. And it was also through the strong voices of several other amazing grassroots organizations and advocates in the outdoor space, such as Brown People Camping, trans advocate Nikki Smith, or Outdoor Afro, that I learned that some people can't leave parts of themselves behind to assimilate. That for many Black, trans, and Muslim folks, not belonging can become more of an issue than just not fitting in. It can be a safety issue. So all of this started to make me question my definition of belonging. Like, could I belong in these spaces, the climbing space, the outdoor space, all these spaces that I kind of feel are core to who I am without leaving parts of me behind? I've been working on unlearning like belonging through assimilation, and been exploring what it means to bring my full self, my whole self into the outdoors. You know, I live in New York City, and I'm beginning to realize there is no city me, there's no outdoors me, there's just one me, a whole me, just Shelma. And each of us should be able to belong in the outdoors as our whole selves. And, you know, that to me is a really exciting future. So along the way, I've realized that there can be like many ways to define the outdoors, to define how to be outdoorsy and how to connect to the outdoors. And I truly hope that the young folks whose lives are touched through organizations like GirlVentures or other avenues of connection to the outdoors will not have to choose the outdoors or their whole selves, that they'll be able to feel safe and accepted by the outdoor community, because ultimately we all belong to the outdoors, to the land. It isn't a commodity that can be possessed by a single person or by a single group. And that we want to belong to the outside in a way that is to belong to the infinite open, not owning it or possessing it, but sharing it amongst all of us. And so I encourage everyone here today to make the time and space to find out how you connect and how you belong in the outdoors, and to hopefully be able to make the space for others to also do the same. Thank you.
What an amazing story. What experiences that have strengthened your sense of community or your connection to something larger than yourself?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that have strengthened my sense of community in the outdoor space. I think that right now there are a couple key different ways that that have really strengthened my sense of community. I think one, organizations like GirlVentures or Eastern Sierra Conservation Corps or Brown Girls Climbing in the Bay Area, like organizations that are on the ground directly impacting people who've been historically excluded from the outdoors and creating access points for them. I think also the amazing people working in the justice, equity, diversity, inclusion space online, who are willing to be really vulnerable and to share about their challenges and hardships, to give the rest of us an opportunity to learn more and to have more awareness of challenges that people who are differently able than us are trying to navigate being outdoors. And kind of the second part of connection to something larger, you know, when you said that, I kind of just thought about how the outdoors is my biggest teacher around connection to something larger. I think when you're outdoors, when you're in these spaces that where the human footprint isn't the biggest footprint in that space, it's just such a large, stark reminder to us that like the world is not a human-centric place, and that we're just this kind of smaller part of this larger picture of things going on. And I can't think of anything that's strengthened my sense of community to not just humans, but like to all of our kin in the world, than nature itself.
Thank you, Shelma. You know, we have a lot of supporters here tonight for GirlVentures. We all really believe in diversity and inclusion. What can we all do to make outdoor recreation more inclusive and welcoming for BIPOC girls and not gender nonconforming youth?
Yeah, this is such a great question. And, you know, I thought, first of all, like, I don't feel like I'm necessarily qualified to answer that question because I'm not a BIPOC youth, girl, or gender nonconforming youth. And so I think number one is ask them, listen, you know, don't assume that we know what the barriers and challenges that they're facing are, but take the time to ask them what they feel are their challenges, listen to them, and work together to try to find ways to break down those barriers. And then I think to create spaces that are familiar and make young folks feel safe. I think, you know, training outdoor educators in cultural competency so that we can avoid common mishaps like infantilizing young women or misgendering people. And I think having the educators in these outdoor fields and making sure that they are cognizant of microaggressions and other things that can make people feel unwelcome. I think that that is going to be a really great way. I think to help with that, you know, making people feel safe, asking people about their pronouns, having gender neutral bathrooms, and all these kind of are making entry points that feel accessible to everybody. And then I think finally, the last thing, which I think GirlVentures does so well, is create opportunities for progression. I think, you know, the last thing we want to do is introduce young people to these amazing outdoors opportunities, but they don't have any other avenues to grow and progress as leaders, as well as for their own personal progression. So I think not just introducing folks to these outdoor spaces, but then also creating opportunities and resources for them to grow personally in their own progression of goals that they have in the outdoors, but also having leadership opportunities. And I really think GirlVentures does such a great job of that.
Those are great actionable points. For our last question, we wanted to focus on the pillar of mentorship. So how has mentorship contributed to your experience in the outdoors?
Yeah, I mean, mentorship has been huge for me. I've been so lucky to have so many great, strong women mentors in my life who've significantly shaped who I am, and not just in the outdoors, because ultimately everything is connected, and how we grow as humans is not, how we grow in the outdoors is connected to how we are as like people in society. So I think finding mentors in any part of our life is going to help us grow wherever we are. And I think mentors in the outdoor space are crucial, I think, to provide access to technical knowledge and to provide opportunities for exposure to next level experiences. And I think it's especially crucial in communities that haven't felt welcome, don't see people who look like them already in these spaces, especially in leadership positions, and also where it might be financially unfeasible to hire guides to get these to get these progressions that maybe other people are getting through hiring somebody to help teach them. And I've been kind of going through a lot of imposter syndrome about being a mentor myself, as like someone who in my early 20s had so many great mentors, to now being in my mid to late 30s and feeling unprepared and thinking like, oh no, like I can't mentor people, like what do I have to teach people? And I think one thing the last words I wanted to impart is that, one, I never expected my mentors to be infallible or know everything. So I'm not really sure why I put that kind of pressure on myself. And I think that just because what we can do as mentors is to share our experience and just provide more information to other folks, and they can choose to take that information and apply it into their lives in a way that feels applicable to them. And just to remind everybody that we can all be a mentor to somebody, that we all have something to share, that our personal experiences are going to be something that can positively impact somebody. And a word that we've been using a lot is friendship. So even if you don't feel like you're somebody who's like more experienced or older than somebody that that you are working with and learning from, like you could be friendships. You can have a friendship and be friends who mentor each other and help each other grow. And I really like that idea as well.
I love friendship. That's a new vocab word for me to keep with me after tonight. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Shelma.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Before we introduce our next guest, I think we need a trivia break. So here's how it's going to work. On the next slide, I will have a trivia question for you all. So the first person to give us the correct answer into the chat room will win a GirlVentures gift basket, including a water bottle, snacks, and wine from Ideal Family Vineyards. All right, let's get ready. So the question is, what is the tallest peak in California, continental US? All right. The answer is Mount Whitney. All right, I think we actually got a winner here. Shupa Miller. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. Yeah, you got the right answer. So we'll be sending you a private chat to make sure you get your prize Thank you so much for joining us tonight and hope you enjoy your gift. All right, Meley, over to you to introduce our next guest.
Congratulations, Shula. Okay, so our next guest is incredibly talented and just the thing we needed on this Wednesday night. Hailing from Oakland, California, Osunfemi is a Sweetwater neo-soul hip-hop vocalist, songwriter, and author. Osunfemi is a trained massage therapist, Reiki master, teacher, cardology coach, and an inspirational speaker, having courageous conversations at colleges, conferences, and more. Because she is currently living in Tanzania, she recorded a special performance just for us. Please enjoy the vocals of Osunfemi Wanbi Njeri.
For having me. Thank you so much, GirlVentures, for having me. This is a beautiful, beautiful opportunity for the young ladies to really touch in nature. We call it Mother Nature for such a powerful reason. And as young ladies, it's so important to get in tune with the mother and to bring us up as women and to nurture us and let us know how to relax and live and breathe. I'm gonna be performing for y'all today. The first song is a cappella. It's called Free, and it's about nature and just my enjoyment with nature, and what it does for my soul and how it calms me and enriches my life. Free as a bird, flow like the sea, filled with energy, I'm thankful. Free as a bird, flow like the sea, filled with energy, I'm thankful. Free as a bird, flow like the sea, filled with energy, I'm thankful. Ooh. Giving thanks every morning as I rise on a natural high. I'm thankful. I take my time, use nature as my guide, and let spirit move me. I'm free. Free of all outside negativity, abundant peace energy, God's special remedy, those I consider kin to me. Disappearing acts, they don't remember me. How could this be? Devastation, God's translation. Let go of yesterday's old ways of thinking. No more sinking into others' lives. Hold on, I got a surprise. Just free yourself, be yourself. And watch how you thrive. Free as a bird, flow like the sea, filled with energy, I'm thankful. Free as a bird, flow like the sea, filled with energy, I'm thankful. Free as a bird, flow like the sea, filled with energy, I'm thankful. Ooh. Spread my wings, prepare to fly. Magical journeys await me. It's written in the sky. All I do is dream, creating what I see. I'm thankful. Spirit moves through me. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Indulge in life's sublime treasures, the space and time, no pressure, being who I want to be, seeing how I want to see. I'm free, knowing what cools me, what soothes me, ignites me, inspires me. River flowing, nature growing, wind blowing, sun shining on my face. I'm glowing, sand between my toes, drifting, cool water cleansing my soul. New beginnings, inspiration, fluidity, serendipity, giving birth to my dreams. Hard times ain't always what they seem. Baptized in love, I'm thankful. I'm thankful. Free as a bird, flow like the sea, filled with energy. I'm thankful. Free as a bird, flow like the sea, filled with energy. I'm thankful. Free as a bird, flow like the sea, filled with energy. I'm thankful. Ooh. Be thankful. Be thankful for the time that you get to spend outdoors with Mother Nature, in Mother Nature. Be thankful for the adventure that you get to go on. Not many get to go on. You're chosen for just such a divine purpose, so enjoy every moment. This next song is for, although we are entertaining the ladies and celebrating the ladies, the young ladies, this is a song that is dedicated to the woman in you that you're growing into, and it's entitled Warrior Woman. So, Warrior Woman, Warrior Woman. Warrior Woman is a beautiful song for call and response, even through video. So, the part that you guys are going to do is just Warrior Woman. You're going to hold the beat. Warrior Woman. Warrior Woman. Warrior Woman. And you're going to hear it through the chorus. So to be interactive, to keep it fun, to keep it flowing, entertaining, y'all can just say Warrior Woman during the chorus, and I'll take care of the rest. Warrior Woman. Warrior Woman. Warrior Woman. Warrior Woman. Warrior Woman. Who do you see? Warrior Woman. Does she look like me? Warrior Woman. Close your eyes. Warrior Woman. She's there inside. Warrior Woman. Stay true to the end. Warrior Woman. Stay true to the end. Stay true to the end. Warrior Woman, stay true to the end. Not affected by the naysayers or the trends. Got wounds and battle scars, draped in royal garb. They reach but so far. To me it don't come hard. A true believer, true seeker. Master in the craft, she is never weaker. See a warrior woman play this loud through the speaker. Watch her regal attitude exudes with every stride. Only walk around with her head held high. Even in her darkest hour. When weak, negating all her power, she still rise and get back on assignment. She will never let her time in before she's trying to diamond. Must see all dreams come to fruition. Stand tall, never in a compromised position. And when I'm on the mic, there is no competition. Listen, let me hear you say, Warrior Woman, Warrior Woman, Warrior Woman. Who do you see? Warrior Woman. Does she look like me? Warrior Woman. Close your eyes. Warrior Woman. She's there inside. Warrior Woman. Stay true to the end. Stay true to the end. Stay true to the end. A born leader, when I lead a battle, I gotta be the successor. I accept nothing less. Don't be fooled by mass deception. Victory always comes with a valuable lesson. Keep them guessing. Captivating is your mind. She's alluring all the time. Intriguing, hard to find. So much mystery in her eyes. Body of a goddess. She's more than her hips and her thighs. She's divinely favored because she's an obedient servant. She has no regrets about the path that's been chosen. From the roughest winds to the calmest waters. Child of a scholar, the untamed middle daughter. Never shy from winning. Every decision executed with precision. She rocked her crown in silence, a boisterous, a true warrior woman. She reigned victorious. Warrior woman, she reigned victorious. Warrior woman, she reigned victorious. Warrior woman, we reign. Warrior woman, who do you see? Warrior woman, does she look like me? Warrior woman, close your eyes. Warrior woman, she's there inside. Warrior woman, stay true to the end. Stay true to the end. Stay true to the end. All my warrior women, GirlVentures, you are warrior women. You are so amazing. Back to you.
Wow, what an incredible performance. I am definitely feeling like a warrior woman. Thank you so much, Osunfemi, for sharing your beautiful music with us and that beat. We're getting closer to our goal of $40,000 for GirlVentures. So the link to donate and help us get that much closer to reaching our goal has been added into the chat. You can also find the QR code here in the slide. Please share with your family and friends if you are inspired by today's conversation as well. We're so grateful for our GirlVentures community and our shared commitment to inspiring girls to discover and develop their unique strength. Another big thank you to our sponsors, Prologis, Arc'teryx, and our product sponsor, Equator Coffees. We couldn't have gotten this far without each and every one of you.
Thank you all so much, and please be well. We hope you have a great rest of your night, and don't forget to share your favorite moments. You can tag us on Instagram at GirlVentures. Good night.
Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.